Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for One Piece chapter 1038. When we last left our heroes, Kaido got drunk, and that drinking, while it sort of threw Luffy for a bit of a loop, as Kaido was a little bit more unpredictable, it also increased the strength of Kaido's haki. There's a good explanation for that in the comments, as haki is kind of a person's life energy, and that the being drunk released that sort of cap on Kaido's natural emotional state or something. It works. It makes sense to me. It was a good comment there from whoever made that comment last chapter. But anyway, last chapter was really just Luffy and Kaido going at it, with Kaido kind of sobering up as the fight went on, to his frustration. But the big thing last chapter happened at the end, with two things. First, a conversation among the five elders back at Mary Joyce as they sort of move past whatever the hell happened at Reverie. We still do not know what happened to the Reverie, even 80 chapters later. But also, they talk about a devil fruit that has not been awakened for a long, long time. The fact that the government changed the devil fruit's name to hide it from history. And also, Zanisha showed up at Wano. And there was perhaps a bit of a red herring, as the framing made it seem like that devil fruit conversation was tied up with Zanisha. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's a red herring on Oda's part. We know there's some secret going on with the gum fruit, and maybe that's what the elders are talking about, that Luffy's on the cusp of an awakening. I don't know, but a lot of mysteries in those last 2 pages last chapter. But yeah, that being said, let's dive right on into chapter 1038, Kid and Law versus Big Mom. Okay, so quick little factoid there. Before I get into the cover there, which I'm sure will be very important to the plot of this cover story. So in this arc, in the Onigashima raid at least, we've seen the X versus Y structure 4 times. We've seen that with Jinbe and Who's Who, with Robin and Black Maria, Sanji and Queen, and Zoro and King. And in all of those except for Robin and Black Maria, that was the final part of the chapter, right? In Jinbe's fight with Who's Who, he won in that chapter. Sanji won in Sanji versus Queen. Zoro won in Zoro versus King. These two, the succeeding chapters had a page or two of aftermath where we got that winner Zoro, winner Sanji bit. But it was still the definitive end of the chapter. Or end of the fight, I mean. And even that Robin Black Maria fight only went on 1 more chapter. So my question is, are we going to see the end of the Big Mom fight here? Because we could, that fight's been going on for a while, especially behind the scenes or off screen or whatever. It feels sudden to kind of come back to the Big Mom fight to wrap it up in the same chapter. But also the Big Mom fight's been going on for a while, which admittedly that could mean Kid and Law lose here, or it means that we're within a chapter of one of the Yonko going down, which is huge. It's the first time our heroes have taken down a Yonko. The only Yonko to fall since Whitebeard, who was taking down by Blackbeard, is not really counting that. Anyway, this could be a huge chapter. But before that, we have our cover, German 66's and the Motionless Excursion, Volume 3, Niji and Yonji are held captive in Chocolat Town on Cacao Island. And we see they're in a book. I did take a peek at this cover before I started the video, so I could remember what exactly the book thing is. It's Charlotte Montdor has the book power. It's been a long time since I read Whole Cake, so I completely forgot about that. But yes, Niji and Yonji are captured, and it's kind of unclear if Judge would be the kind of person to go back to save his children. But anyway, all that being said, let's cut to the actual chapter. We open on the 3rd floor, not with the Big Mom fight, but continuing the Raizo and Fukurokuju stuff. Where they've still just got each other bound by that paralysis jutsu. The flames have completely overtaken Raizo. They're starting to burn Fukurokuju's robes. One of them utters, "The flames!" And Fukurokuju pleads to Raizo, "Undo the jutsu, Raizo, or we will both die." And we see Raizo just breathing heavy for the entire rest of the scene. I will say, earlier in this fight, Fukurokuju made the point that if Raizo doesn't undo the jutsu, he will die first. And so Fukurokuju will be freed. I'm skeptical of that claim, though, because I don't think Fukurokuju would tell Raizo to undo the jutsu if Raizo not undoing the jutsu will guarantee Fukurokuju a win. I think there's some deception going on there. But anyway, just checking in, less than a page. You see, they're just in the exact same place they were several chapters ago. No progress there. We come down to the second floor, where Kazenbo's flames are spreading. Get out of the castle! It's a dead end, we can't escape! It's like the samurai running from the flames. The ceiling starts to crack, which would be the third floor, where Raizo and Fukurokuju are. The ceiling's going to give way! Ah! And as it falls, it stops right over their heads. And it's my boy Jinbe, saving them all. You're from the Straw Hat crew. And Jinbe notes them, you're all still in here? Get out now while you can. And the samurai, take this opportunity to make their escape. Jinbe looks around. Oh, the flames spread so far. It's one thing to die in battle, but these flames are going to kill scores of men all on their own. And we see, just unconscious pirates and samurai who have fallen over the course of the battle and are kind of helpless against the flames. And then we come to the performance floor. As folks are just running in panic, stay away from Big Mom! Don't get anywhere near that fight! So yeah, we're back with the actual title fight, Kid-in-Law versus Big Mom. We also have the two mink doctors, whose names I've forgotten, and little baby Chopper. As Chopper just screams, ah! What is it, Dr. Chopper? And Chopper just feels the sensation. Oh, what's this? What the? And he poofs back to his normal size. He's back to normal. And falls out of the lady doctor's hands. Eek! And the male doctor is like this sort of goat thing, whose name I definitely should know by now. Oh, good. Your monster risks have passed. And Chopper sort of sighs. Or catches his breath, I mean. I'm back. I guess turning teeny and weak is the side effect then. But enough about me. Oh, right, that came about because he used Monster Point too much, right? Miyagi. I'm worried about Zoro. And Miyagi is the goat man. Ah, yes. The medicine we gave him. In exchange for a temporary burst of extreme healing. He'll have to suffer twice the damage later, right? I hope he was able to win his fight. I mean, he was so injured he couldn't move. And now it's doubled? Oh, right. I had forgotten about the medicine. So Zoro might not be Zoro's definitely not in a great spot right now. He's not going to die, is he? And with that, we cut back to outside, where Zoro is. Who the hell are you? And there's, a literal Grim Reaper above him. I'm hoping this is a metaphor for Zoro being in so much pain he could die, because I don't think we can really handle another mysterious figure on Onigashima right now. There's just so much going on in this arc. We don't need anything more. I've been saying for a while it's time for Onigashima to start wrapping up. And that's what I hope is about to happen, not getting even more stuff on Onigashima. But Zoro just can't move as this Reaper looms over him. What's going on? My body won't move. And the Reaper, we see its face, it's like skeleton. It's about to swing down the scythe. No, stop! Don't do it! And then we cut to the right brain tower under the dome, we're specifically on the map given the locations of Zoro and Franky. As we cut to Franky, who's, I guess, trying to find Zoro. Move it! And he, blasts some pirates away from him and thinks, stupid Zoro, how far did he go? And then we cut to the crawl space on the first floor. There's just so much, I talk a lot about, focus chapters and overview chapters, and I was really hoping with a title like Kid-in-Law versus Big Mom, this would be a focus chapter, focusing on that fight. And I'm sure we'll get there eventually, but we're on page 6 now, and we have had, 5 scenes, if we count it's maybe a little rude to count the Franky scene as its own scene, but at best we've had 4 scenes already, which is just a lot of checking in on people with very little actually advancing. But anyway, the crawl space where Kinemon and Kiku and all of them were, and Izo and Marco and Usopp and everyone, and the Beast Pirates who were just unconscious, just knocked out now, sort of muttering, damn it, that was Whitebeard's division leader. Why is he helping out these young guns? Is that about Izo or Marco? Was Izo a division leader? He wasn't like the first division leader like Marco was, but the Whitebeards were just never really a crew I gave too much of a damn about. So I'm not quite familiar enough with like the overarching hierarchies of Team Whitebeard. Anyway, on to the first basement, where Izo jumps down to the first basement. He lands pretty alright, but there is some blood that either coughs up, or he has a wound actually in his chest. He grunts in pain. He was too sloppy against a large group. Remember, Izo, these are still the Beast Pirates. Kiku, Kinemon, I hope you managed to escape. And then he points his gun at someone, and it's CP0. Okay. Is Izo about to have some trouble? Cypher pull. And the smaller member sort of hides his head. That's right. We're Aegis Zero. I knew you were here, but we never saw each other today, Izo. Okay, he's gonna let him go. Given my job, I shouldn't be allowing the remnants of Whitebeard's crew to run free after their historic crimes. But we're only here to deal with the Straw Hat Pirates. Until we meet again another day. So I guess even CP0 now is saying there's just too much shit going on in Wano. Let's deal with one thing at a time. I've never related to a bunch of evil government assassins more. There is a lot going on in Wano. But Izo stops them, no CP0. And the two of them stop and got kind of confused. Don't go yet. And then we leave them again to focus on Yamato trying to raise Kazenbo down to the armory. As Yamato just repeats to himself, please be in time. Please be in time. And he's running down the stairs. We see like the dust trail. And he arrives right as Kazenbo does. There it is! Kazenbo is approaching those bombs. No, don't! Please stop! And he transforms into his hybrid form. Namaji, Glacier Fang! And he shoots this ice beam that freezes the bombs, hopefully protecting them somewhat against Kazenbo. He's clearly out of breath now. If this much gunpowder explodes at once, we're all done for! And Kazenbo reaches the ice. Hopefully the ice will melt into water that will douse the fuses? Maybe? Don't touch those explosives! And he turns back into his human form and whacks his club at Kazenbo. Maharoba! And Kazenbo seems to actually feel the impact. And it just mutters out, Lord Orochi. And it spawns these little hands, which Yamato notes, hands? And the hands come for Yamato. I'm going to go on a limb and say Kazenbo is infused with Orochi's will or something. Or not with Orochi, with Kanjuro's will or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be relevant, but I think that is going to be kind of where we're going with this. Anyway, back to the performance floor. As people call out to Big Mom, stop it, Big Mom! Our captains can't move anymore! If you keep going, they're going to die! So yeah, we do finally check in on the fight, and it's going real poorly for Kid and Law. As they're just beat up to hell. Their crews call, cut them a break! And Big Mom just taunts them. Ha, ha, ha! Listen to your men pitying you. Must make you feel pretty pathetic, boys. Ha, 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 ha. But we also see Big Mom herself is kind of exhausted. She's breathing heavy. We see that huff huff. Which makes sense given how poorly she was doing before she did that oversoul thing. But still, important things to keep an eye on. Captain! Boss! So yeah, we see Kid and Law just lying there, seemingly unconscious. We can't really see Law's eyes, but Kid's eyes are just white. And Big Mom stares down at them. And then I think this is Kid's gang. Boss! Hang in there, boss! Are you still breathing? And then we have the Heart Pirates. Medical team! Save the captain! And then Big Mom tries to stop the crews. Silence, you runts! This is a battlefield! And she summons Hera. God of Lightning! Tenjin! And all the crews are hit with Hera's lightning. Yeah! And the crews, the various pirates all just fall over, and Big Mom comments, I've yet to hear a roar of victory from Kaido up above. And she's really breathing heavy. She's taking some damage here, even if we haven't really gotten to see it. You'd better not still be up there playing patty cake with that straw hat boy, Kaido. Hera, take me up to the roof. Yes, Mama. Even I'm getting tired now. It's time to put an end to this. So yeah, we're really just seeing over and over again, even if she's wiped the floor with Law and Kid, she has taken some damage. I still wish we'd gotten to see that from time to time, instead of being told after the fact that she's taken damage here. But that's just part of Onigashima at this point. It's so big, there have to be some cuts, I guess. But Law's still conscious. Activating his awakened form, Kroom. Anesthesia! And in the little orb that Kroom creates, he stabs his sword into it, presumably to stab Big Mom. But Big Mom just flares up. We're done here! But... Okay, so I had figured that it would have just been a sword slash from the inside, right? Did Law's Kroom things, increase the size of his moves? Because his sword extends, cutting through from Big Mom's, elbow into her chin and out the other side of her face. That's gonna leave a mark. And the Beast Pirates are just stunned. Ah! Mama! Big Mom's dead! Yeah, alright. But Chopper, who's still there, calls out, Traffy! What's with that huge sword? But Law is just fully focused on finishing this fight with Big Mom. I know the last one had an effect. The penetration doesn't hurt. The real pain is from... And Big Mom calls out, no, not that! Shock will! And I guess he just uses the sword to electrocute Big Mom from the inside? Okay, that's fucking neat. And Big Mom falls. She's created all of these homies out of the steel beams they collapsed on top of her a while back. And they all come on to attack Law. Vengeance for Mama! But they feel this sensation. What's this? I'm being pulled backward. Oh, and it's Kid, who is also conscious. Would you I-beam stop yapping and obey my magnetism? And yeah, he is creating another mech thing. And Big Mom getting increasingly panicked now. You're still standing, Kid? And she gets up. She's damaged by Law's attack, but she's still fighting. I guess you brats really want to take my head, don't you? And Kid just laughs. For some reason, I feel like I'm driven by a different goal now. I'm guessing Kaido's nearly done up there, too. Even water droplets can carve stone, given enough time. There ain't a single thing in this world that's totally impervious to damage. Okay. So, I think what Kid is saying there, with that line, I guess Kaido's nearly done up there, too, is that he thinks Luffy's going to lose, but still do enough damage to Kaido that Kid can maybe take over and win the fight. Given Kid's status, even if Kid beats Big Mom here, I don't think he'll have the energy to even go up to the roof again. But we'll see. As he uses that metal to form this bull, Pump Cornadillo! And he tackles Big Mom with it. Big Mom holds it off. As people react, what a huge bull! It's even bigger than Big Mom's giant form! And Kid just tells her, listen to me, old hag. I'd rather die, and Law joins in now, than let you go to the roof. To be continued. Okay, so thankfully we're not off next week for once, which is good. But yeah, let's talk about chapter 1038 here, because there's just a lot going on. We spent the first half of the chapter just sort of checking in on various people. And y'all know my thoughts on that. I prefer when we have a bit more... I prefer when a chapter focuses on a setting, maybe two settings tops, and just focuses on that. Last chapter was Luffy Kaido fight, and it was just a Luffy Kaido fight to the last 2 pages. That was some good shit. Whereas this first part, there's very little that happens here, is the thing. We have, Raizo and Fukurokuju, nothing's going on there. The Jinbe scene is just Jinbe holding up a roof. The Chopper scene is just Chopper coming back to his normal size. Death is approaching Zoro in some kind of metaphorical sense, I think. But who's to say? The Reaper thing is so random. we've never really seen, not really random, but it's so not really what we normally see in One Piece that it kind of takes me back a bit. And we have Franky, who's kind of on his way. There's some good stuff with the, we spend, out of all these mini scenes, we spend the most time with Izo and with Yamato, and that is where the most good stuff happens in the first half here. The Izo and CP0 scene I think is just really interesting. There's definitely some like CP. I'm curious what exactly is. How do I phrase this? Is this? I can understand why CP0 would just decide to leave Izo alone for the day. There's just too fucking much going on. And also, you know, if these two spend all their time focusing on Izo, maybe they win. But they're on the tail of Robin right now. They don't have time to waste with Izo. But then there's Izo telling them not to go. And there are two potential readings of that, I think. That are most likely given the evidence we have. Either A, Izo is going through the same thought process I just went through. That Izo's too much trouble to deal with. They have to go for Robin now. Let's get Robin, and then we can deal with Izo later. And so Izo, not wanting the world government to get what they want, decides to stop CP0 right then and there. Or maybe there's something about the line, don't go yet. That line doesn't really feel like a threat, is the thing. Like, especially the yet, as if he plans to let them leave eventually. It sounds like maybe he wants to talk with them about something. But I don't know what it could be. Like, either it's some kind of plea that's going to fall on deaf ears, you know, leave Wano alone after this. He's worked out the world government. Like, he's maybe worked out the world government is right outside, especially because he was with Marco, who probably knows all that already, given Marco's late arrival to the battle. So maybe Marco told him the world government is ready to take Wano as soon as the battle is over, and he's going to plead with them, don't do that, let Wano be. But that seems a little bit naive. Or maybe he has something a bit more sinister in mind. I don't know what it would be. I really have no idea what it would be. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see sometime later. Probably much later, given Onigashima's whole pacing. And then we have the Yamato stuff, which isn't super, like, interesting. It's just sort of continuing that plot line. As Yamato, like, time is running out for Yamato to stop Kazenbo there. He's just really running out of time here. And then we have the Big Mom fight. And there's plenty of fun to be had here. As, you know, Big Mom has seemingly defeated Kid in Law, but they're refusing to go down without a fight. They will fight to their last breath to stop her. As, you know, Law gets his little electric shock thing in. Kid gets his magnetic bull thing. It's some fun action there. What I want to talk most about is this bit about that Kid says, for some reason I feel like I'm driven by a different goal now. And I'm curious, like, it seems to be, you know, Big Mom says, I guess you perhaps really want to take my head, don't you? And then Kid corrects her, saying, no, that's not it, we have a different goal. The goal is not killing her, or not defeating her in any way, shape, or form. So, what is it? Is it protecting Luffy? Because their final line, I'd rather die than let you go to the roof. Like, their goal is no longer beating her, it's leaving the fight with Kaido up to Luffy, is what it feels like. Which, especially for Kid, feels like a change. Law has spent so much time with the Straw Hats at this point that I would buy that at some point he was motivated more by his allyship with the Straw Hats than by his older goals. Though like, his newfound Mystery of the Will of D goal is definitely still a part of it. It does sort of feel like that Will of D stuff isn't really impacting this moment. It feels like they're almost... They almost feel like the sort of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet from Dressrosa is the thing. Like they're working for Luffy. I don't hope that's the case. Because that feels definitely out of character for Kid. it even feels out of character for Law. I could see Law entering into a more permanent alliance with the Straw Hats post Wano, but like Law saying I am below Luffy here, that feels wrong. It feels really wrong for Kid. So I hope I'm wrong there. But I don't know. Lot to chew on here. There's just a lot to chew on in this bit too, along with some good little attacks on Big Mom. That maybe next week will be the end of the fight with Big Mom. You know, that's huge. That's really fucking huge right there. If this is the end of if Big Mom is like finally down as a credible foe next chapter, like that's kind of huge. And also, what will that mean for the Charlotte family? Especially given that the current cover story seems like it might involve the Charlotte family, given Niji and Yonji's states. I don't know. If Big Mom falls here, that's going to be fucking huge. Huger than maybe any single event since, like, Whitebeard died. So yeah, we have that to look forward to. I can't wait to see it. There's just, there's just constantly the sense that something big is right around the corner. And it's going to be great. It's going to be fucking great. I know it. We all know it, I think. Whatever happens next is going to be huge and incredible, I think. So yeah, that being said, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!